Argo Sports Weekly as we talk women's and men's basketball today. Let's start with women's basketball with head coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton. Coach, got conference play up and going this weekend.
Yeah, it's super early in the year to be playing conference play, it seems, but it's exciting to have those teams come into our house.
A couple of tough teams too. Christian Brothers took care of them, and then Union, boy, they're a good team. There's a reason why they're ranked #1 in the nation.
Yeah, they are super talented at a lot of positions. They've got some great depth on their bench, and they are a solid program.
Good to have some good GSC tests like this early in the year.
I think so, and it was nice for us to have them at home. So to have those teams come in, have our fans be able to see those quality teams come in our house early was great.
All right, let's take a look at the Christian Brothers highlights. And this one, you came out, you guys have been scoring a lot. Of course, Anna Hall coming off the triple-double, and you guys picked up right where you left off.
We came out like gangbusters out of the locker room. We jumped up and had a big lead after that first quarter, and just Christian Brothers just couldn't come back and answer.
Haley Neiman opened things up with a three, another three from Haley Neiman. Then on the fast break, the steal and score there. Haley had a nice game, 20 points, 4 steals there as well.
She's playing good basketball, and that's what we know that she can bring to the table.
Tony Brewer doing a nice job in the paint. She had a big game as well with a game-high 22.
Tony did an excellent job. This game, she made it look effortless of her scoring in the paint, and we're just proud of what she brought to the table.
Bell Bistro right there off the inbound. That's how you draw it up, isn't it?
Oh, man. Yeah. Easy pass, easy layup.
Again, Bell Bistro having to work a little harder for that layup, but got it to fall. And then Anna Hall just going off. 8 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, almost had 10 steals as well in that game. You can't say enough good things about what she's been doing.
Oh, my goodness. We look at that stat line every time she comes out of the game, and there's been multiple times she gets close to a triple-double many times this season.
Well, we see it here, and then we'll take a look at it again in the Union highlights. Haley Neiman with the big steal down low there. One more steal kind of ices it, and guys go on to win that one handedly over Christian Brothers, 81-46 the final in that game. What did you like most about the way you guys played there?
I love the way we shot the ball. We played super well on offense. We really moved the ball. We were confident in our shooting. We shot the ball extremely well. I think it was one of our best shooting games of the season, but we played a complete basketball game.
And then it was Union. A couple days later, you knew this game was going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. We knew Union coming into the house, #1 in the country, was going to be a challenge for us.
Tony Brewer, a couple of quick buckets here. She ended up with 17 and was your leading scorer. She had to work hard for those 17 points.
Oh, no doubt. Just like we said in the Christian Brothers game, it looked effortless. Well, she looked very labored in this Union game, but still coming up with 17 against the #1 team in the country. She had a good night.
Haley Neiman making or having to work hard down to the paint. They have some size, don't they?
They had some great size. They've got some really strong guard play, and they make it tough on you.
This time she cuts and gets the layup there. How about Anna Hall again, this time drilling the three from the corner? Yeah,
we knew they were going to press us. We knew we had some open opportunities on the backside of that press if we could ever get the ball over that way, and that's when Anna hit those shots.
And Anna Hall, another big game for her as well. She ended up 11 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds in that game for her. So a remarkable game for Anna Hall. And as we talked about in the game against Christian Brothers, coming off that triple-double, she almost had it again against Christian Brothers, another nice game. It seems like she does a nice job facilitating this offense, something you've been missing.
She plays at the next level. She's constantly sprinting. She constantly has her head up. She's looking for opportunities to advance the ball. And then because she's looking at those opportunities, the defense has to honor it because we've got players out there that are hitting shots. So that leaves her open to be able to drive to the basket, get some open looks herself.
Clearly the guard play wasn't the problem in this game. Of course, you would have liked to have seen a few more shots fall, but they dominated in the paint.
They did, and not necessarily just post play. I mean, they got into the paint with the dribble, and they've got some great guards that can pull up jump shot over bigger defenders, and I just think they're a good team. I think this may be the year that Union can push to the national championship game.
It felt like you guys competed most of that game. Let's talk more about that and look ahead when we come back. How about that?
That sounds great.
All right, so much more to get to. A couple of non-conference games before the GSC schedule really heats up. We'll discuss all that next with Coach Yelton on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity, pure electric energy. what will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Mercy Ships is bringing services to countries that would otherwise never be able to access those services.
We just see people that need help. You realise that they have no way of getting help, and I want them to know that they're loved.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. CharityWater.org. Join us.
And welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. We are joined by Argonaut women's head coach Stephanie Lauren-Shelton. We were talking before we went to break about some non-conference games coming up before you really get back into the heat of the GSC schedule. You've got a big one coming up this weekend against Columbus State. That's a tough team.
This is a team that's been receiving top 25 votes. At one point in the season, they were number 12 in the country. If they were still ranked, this would be our third top 20 opponent in our play before Christmas. I mean, that's an amazing schedule before you take that Christmas break.
You seem to like to schedule some of these tough teams before you really get into the meat of the GSC schedule. That helps your team quite a bit, doesn't it?
This is helping our team to see where we measure up. We were on the road to number 14, North Georgia, fell to them by 6 points, and really went back and watched film and said, man, we had opportunities late in the game to pull that out. And even in the Union game, although it was a 19-point loss, I felt there were moments in the game where we really just shot ourselves in the foot. And we're going through some growing pains with our bench right now with our younger players. But these tough times will pay off in the long run when we start GSC play.
Columbus State, not too far away. It doesn't really affect the regional rankings, though, right?
No, they're not in our region, but because they are a bordering conference and a bordering state, it does come in play when the regional advisory committee starts looking at who's going where.
You have a little familiarity with Columbus State. They were in the Elite Eight when you were a couple of years ago. Is that where this all came together? Yeah, Coach Anita Howard and I have been in good communication over the last few years. We met up when we were at the Elite Eight and just built a friendship, and then started saying, hey, this makes sense. We're close enough geographically. We should be trying to play each other. We're two very good universities and very similar state universities, and let's give it a go. It's a big game coming up this weekend at the Fieldhouse. They have a really good offense. 12th in the nation. How do you slow them down? Oh, man, I think we've got to obviously play their personnel very well. They've got a couple of kids that score a lot of points for them. So if we can slow those kids down and then just do a good job against the others, I think we'll be fine. It's amazing. They don't really seem to turn the ball over much. They don't, and they're playing a very fast-paced style of play. Now, they do take a lot of shots, but they're a great rebounding team, too. So we're going to have to match that physicality on the boards. They get 16 steals a game, so they don't turn the ball over. They force the turnover. How do you take care of the basketball?
we've got to really just be poised against their pressure that they're going to throw on us. And that was one thing we played them last year at their place. We weren't very poised with the basketball. So if we can make that correction, again, I think it can be a good day for us.
It's going to be a good game on Saturday. Hope to see everybody out at the UWF Fieldhouse. Should be a fun one, Coach. Good luck.
It'll be fun, and it's Ugly Sweater Day, so wear your ugly Christmas sweater and come join us.
All right, I'll be sure I have mine on. Are you wearing one?
I'm wearing one. The whole staff is wearing one.
Great. No, can't wait to see what those look like. That'll be fun. Anna Hall almost has 2 triple-doubles under her belt, 1 already. Can she get more this season? We'll talk to her when we come back. This is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. A thunderous spark. So bright. So loud. It cuts through clutter. Rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls. Tears down barriers. And blazes past old ways of thinking. It demands to be seen, heard, and understood. It's creativity. Pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. Since the graduation of Alex Coyne, the Argonauts have been desperately searching for a point guard. This year they found one from Saginaw Valley as we welcome in now Argonaut guard Anna Hall. Hi, Anna. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You came down here. Of course, your teammates at Saginaw with Haley Neiman. Did you guys talk about what it was like playing here at UWF before you came down?
Yeah, she was actually the first person that I talked to when I was going through my whole transferring process, just knowing that she had went through what I went through and then seeing how happy she was last year. So yeah, she was the first one that I kind of contacted.
What were some of the things that she said that drew you here to UWF?
The biggest thing was the environment, especially with the basketball team and the coaches. I mean, we didn't really have sort of a good relationship with our last coach, so hearing that there was a coach who actually cared about the players, not only as players but as people, that was like a huge thing for me. So, from
a team culture standpoint, what is this culture like compared to some of the other teams you've been a part of?
It's everyone. Everyone doesn't always, get along, but I think that when we're on the court, the biggest thing has been that, we can take constructive criticism from each other, and to me that's been a big thing. So I think that was kind of the biggest thing, is that people can handle being told, kind of what they're doing wrong and what we need to work on and things like that.
You almost had your second consecutive triple-double the other day. You were one made basket shy of that. I've never seen one before until you did it the first time the other day. What's that feeling like? Do you know that you're close?
I had absolutely no idea in that first game, and then Alex was actually the one who kind of looked at me and she's like, hey, you only need 4 rebounds. And I was like, what? And so then, you get in the mindset, and I was like, all right, well, this is pretty cool. So, and my teammates were extremely supportive supportive of it, so that was kind of fun.
Have you done anything like that before?
No, not even close.
And then to do it almost a second time. I mean, what's that feeling like?
I mean, my teammates I've never really played with people who have consecutively knocked down shots the way that some of the people, Haley, Belle for sure, and then having a dominant post like Tony, getting her the ball. So I think that just having teammates, especially the biggest thing for me was the assist part, so that's always been something that I've kind of struggled with.
This team is off to an explosive start offensively. As a point guard, how much easier does that make your job?
Oh, so much easier. Yeah.
Are you constantly looking to distribute? I mean, what's your mindset as you bring the ball up the floor?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never really had people that I, can look to for knockdown shooters and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm definitely sort of looking for who can I pass to next kind of thing, and just having multiple people who I know will knock down the shots, it makes it a lot easier.
Is basketball fun here?
Yes, lots of fun.
You've been playing a long time. How nice is that to have that at the college level, especially in your last season?
It's been everything for me, kind of finding that love for the game again here and just having fun with it has been really huge.
Sometimes when a player comes down from the Division I level to play at the Division II level, they think, well, this is going to be a cakewalk. What's it been like?
It's definitely been fun. I mean, it really hasn't been, I would say, much different, but playing with Haley again has really helped me kind of just feel a lot more comfortable here and just stepping in right away.
Well, it's been fun to see the progress. I know you've got a few non-conference games coming up before you jump right back into conference season, so good luck the rest of the way, and thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right. That is Anna Hall joining us today on Argo Sports Weekly. We talk men's basketball when we come back with Argonaut head coach Jeff Burkhammer. It's Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity, pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida, no limits.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. It's time to talk men's basketball now with Argonaut men's head coach Jeff Burkhammer. Coach, kind of a tough weekend as you open up conference play. It's going to be a tough season of the GSC this year, though.
Well, every year is tough in the GSC. You're going to have to play well. I don't think there's a team that's head and shoulders above everybody else, but there's no teams that are way below either. And it's going to be a fight every night. You got to come in and battle. And
you knew this was going to be a tough weekend to get the GSC season started because Christian Brothers always gives you a battle. Union seems to always play tough as well, and they're two teams that are fairly well coached.
Two teams well coached, two teams that have very good players. We knew it was going to be two tough games. We needed to take care of ourselves at home, and just didn't work out that well.
Well, let's take a look now at the Christian Brothers game, and certainly a fun way to get things started. It was a back-and-forth game for much of it. Rashawn Benson finding the layup there, drilled a three. He ended up with a pretty nice game, 23 points for Rashawn.
You know, Rashawn did a lot of good things in this game. He got us good shots, and he made shots, which is a big thing. We've been getting shots and not making them, and he did a good job of completing some plays.
And a good take there. Max Benoit with the steal on the fast break layup, then would drill a three here. Jared Henderson's done a pretty nice job this year as well.
Jared uses his athleticism and just he's active. He's active on the glass. He's active getting to the basket with the dribble, and you know, here he makes a kind of a circus shot to get around Dibble.
We talked about it being back and forth. Big three late. CBU going on a 12-1 run at the end of the game. Dibble hitting the three, the steal, fast break layup, and then they'd ice it with another three at the end as well. Right there towards the end, just couldn't finish it out, and they hit some shots when they needed to.
Well, Dibble was one of the best players in the league. He has been the last 3 years, and he hits a huge shot for them late in the game. And we've been right there, Tommy. We've been right there. 3 of our 4 losses at St. Leo. We're down 3 at the 4-minute timeout. CBU game is tied with the 4-minute timeout, and then we go to the Union game, and we're up 3 at the 4-minute timeout. So we're right there in games, and it comes down to 1 or 2 possessions, and we got to do a little bit better job closing the game out.
I want to talk to you a bit more about that, but let's take a look at the Union highlights. I know this was certainly a heartbreaking game, but Jarrett Henderson with a nice battle in the paint to get that layup to fall. He ended up with a pretty nice game, 12 points, 13 rebounds, double-double for Henderson.
Good job by Jarrett. He just played well in this game, got us some glass, got us some boards, and also scored a little bit.
Rashawn Benson, 11 more points, and this one felt like he was able to distribute a little bit more in the Union game.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball as well, but he did find some guys, and some other guys made some plays. We tried to play a few more bodies, and here's John Brown getting a nice three.
Great three from him. John Brown's done a really nice job. I mean, this is a good find for your program.
This is going to be a very good 4-year player for us, a kid that's got a chance to be freshman of the year in the league, and I think you'll have a great career here.
Are you starting to feel like Anthony Gomes, see him make that three, then the layup on the other end? You starting to see him come along a little bit?
Yeah, Anthony's a guy that we need to play well and need to continue to get better. He's learning what we're doing. He's starting to feel more comfortable.
Alisson Ka, we saw him knock down the three. The missed charge right at the end, this is the call that really changed that game. You saw the official had it right under the basket, and then they changed it. I know that's heartbreaking for you. How do you move on from a game like that that's so tough?
Well, it's a tough call because the call was correct when it was first made. The official from the outside runs in and changes the call, and that's a situation where you have got to be absolutely sure if you're going to change the call. And we look at the film, and the call was wrong. And I don't know if it cost us a game. The previous possession, we turned the ball over. With 17 seconds left, we get a missed shot and give it to a jump ball instead of pivoting it out and being strong with the ball. There's some things we can do. It shouldn't come down to one call by an official, but that call was wrong.
It's a tough one. You talked about finishing games off. What do you feel like from a coach's perspective? How do you finish some of these games?
Well, I watched the movie Creed the other night, and they're talking about one step, one punch, one round at a time. And that's kind of what our team is going to be about. It's going to be, one step at a time, one play at a time, one game at a time. And we're learning how to finish games. Last year we had all veteran guys that had been through the wars. They kind of knew what to do, and we won all these close games. Mm-hmm. And this year we've stumbled a little bit and had some trouble finishing. And it's some with experience, some with better execution, and we'll have to just do a better job down the stretch.
Are you seeing your team make incremental improvements game to game?
I think we're getting better. We still just haven't put enough good plays together. And that's the thing. I mean, you see us coming down to one possession games. So we've got to get better at understanding that each possession is important, whether it be on the offensive end or the defensive end.
I know the injury bug has plagued you guys a little bit. You don't like to make excuses for that, but at the same time, that's something that can be tough to overcome. We saw Maxwell Benoit have a nice game against Christian Brothers and then gets hurt against Union.
Well, it is tough to overcome sometimes. We got 6'11", 6'8", and 6'7" sitting over there that have not done a thing all year and it won't play this year. We look over and Benoit's on the bench. Shalafo's on the bench. He couldn't play. Ka didn't do anything in the preseason. Benson didn't do anything in the preseason. So we are behind for where we want to be right now. We're behind with conditioning. We're behind with execution. We're behind with new guys getting to know each other. And I think it's shown up in some late game situations.
Fortunately for you, basketball season is a long season. It's not like football where you lose a couple of games and all of a sudden you're out of the postseason race. Are you seeing this team, even with those injuries, as the type that can maybe start to make some progress and make a run towards the second half?
Well, that's our hope. That's what we hope happens. We continue to get better and guys figure it out a little bit more. And we're not far away. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not far away. Union's averaging 84 a game. We hold them to 64. We hold them 20 points under their average. So we're doing some good things defensively. We have to become more consistent on the offensive end.
On the road to Atlanta for a couple of games coming up this weekend. We'll talk about those when we come back. We'll wrap it up with Argo Sports Weekly and head coach Jeff Burkhammer on the UWF Sports Network.
You can't stop it. That undeniable charge. So bright, so loud. It rips through the clutches of mediocrity. It breaks down walls, blazes past old ways of thinking. It's creativity, pure electric energy. What will you do with it? The University of West Florida, no limits.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. CharityWater.org. Join us.
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. We're talking men's basketball, and earlier, our Will Kennedy had a chance to catch up with John Brown for 60 Seconds with John Brown.
60 Seconds with, where we get to know some UWF athletes a little better, talk about some stuff off the basketball court with John Brown, a guard here on the UWF Argo basketball team. John, where are you from?
Helena, Alabama.
When you're away from the court, what do you like to do? What are you kind of your hobbies and things that you get into away from school and basketball?
I play a lot of Fortnite, so I like video games, Fortnite, 2K, Madden.
That sets up the next question. Fortnite dance. What's the one you go to? What's your favorite?
The Floss.
What's the meal you miss the most that you don't get here at college?
I would have to say the fried fish on Fridays. Yeah.
And on your playlist right now, what is John Brown listening to?
I'm listening to a lot of country right now.
These are things people probably don't know.
Not at all.
You got a favorite artist?
I'm probably going to have to say Sam Hunt.
Very good. So you maybe some Sam Hunt during warm-up. The team they may go with it, may not. This has been 60 Seconds with John Brown.
Thanks, Will. Welcome back. Jeff Burkhammer now, Argonaut men's basketball coach. You've got a couple of games coming up at Morehouse this weekend, a little tournament up there. How do you kind of size up the two teams you're going to face, including Morehouse?
Yeah, they're going to be good. Morehouse is a team that hosted the regional last year. I think they're 5-1 on the year this year. Really athletic team. It'd be a good challenge for us to go in there and play them. And then we play a Lane team the next day that has already beaten Christian Brothers at Christian Brothers. So two tough matchups, two good conference region games that we'll play on the road.
I know you probably don't have great memories of the Morehouse gym, but at least it's a place you're familiar with when you go on the road. Does that help at all, especially when you're playing kind of some neutral site games, to have some familiarity with the venue you're playing at?
Well, I think it'll help the guys that return. Those guys have been there and they've had a feel for playing there. And hopefully they'll talk to our new guys and say, this is where we played the region last year. This is the type of environment we want to get it back into, and we need to go in here and play better than we played last year.
How important are games like this, especially before you get into the conference season the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think they're important just because we're coming off a couple tough losses, and these are region games. These are two teams that are going to win a bunch of games that could help you if it comes down to region standings late. So important to go there and play well.
When you look at Morehouse, what do they do that could give you some fits?
Just their athleticism. They're going to be extremely athletic. They turn you over about 19, 20 times a game. So got to take care of the ball, make sure we're getting good shots, and then find a way to make them.
When you're looking at your team and the progress that you need to make, what are you watching for? What's something that if you see it this weekend, you know, okay, now we're making progress?
Well, I think the mental toughness is a big thing. Understanding what we're trying to get, whether we're calling a set within our offense, changing defenses, just knowing where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to do things is the biggest thing. Once we get a little bit more comfortable with that, I think we'll play better.
You've got a game Saturday, then a quick turnaround again Sunday. It's kind of a tournament setting when you get to the postseason, so that's not easy to prepare for, though. How do you handle that?
Well, that's the reason we do it. It's not an easy thing to do, and that prepares you a little bit for postseason. This is our third one of these that we've done. We played back-to-back games, which is what you're going to have to do in the postseason if you can get to there. So it's a good teaching tool for us. You got 2 or 3 days to prepare for the first team and 24 hours to prepare for the second, and you got to be ready to play both nights.
Well, Coach, good luck. Hopefully you can get some guys back and get healthy as well.
Right.
I know that'll go a long ways. That is Coach Jeff Burkhammer joining us. That's all the time we have for Argo Sports Weekly this week. Of course, again, a thanks to Jeff Burkhammer and Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton, and of course, Anna Hall as well. The Argonaut women are at home on Saturday. You can get the full schedule and the full Argo lineup at GoArgos.com. Of course, the men's team on the road at Atlanta. Again, GoArgos.com to keep up to date with how they do. Thanks for watching. I'm Tommy Thrall for our entire crew. We'll see you next week on Argo Sports Weekly here on the UWF Sports Network.